guys, today we are back with another video, and I was just thinking from earlier last week or this previous weekend, had a couple haircuts, and I was able to just try some different techniques and hop into my stash and use a couple different clippers. Normally, when I cut hair, my go-to clipper is the Babyliss FX. It's one of my favorite clippers. It got a little weight to it, but I feel like it's still light. It's powerful. I actually swapped it and put the TPOB vapor blade on there, and I was actually able to normally this is a click lever, but I took out the ball so it could just be a regular floating lever. And after I made those adjustments to this clipper, man, when I tell you, man, this is deadly. I love it. It looks good, man. It's a beast, man. The clipper can normally fit the typical Babyliss guards like this, these guys, and they do the job. They solid, and they can fit wall guards too. But sometimes you can't completely zero gap the blade as close as I would personally like to fit the wall guards, because if you do, they'll like eat up the guards. So yeah, I'll probably cut the most heads with this clipper, and I have another one on my stand in black too. This one got a little bit more wear and tear to it, but these are my go-tos normally. But this weekend, man, I was feeling a little adventurous, and I always keep a pair of masters. I got the OG ones right here, the corded ones, and then I got some cordless ones to the side. But I actually like using the corded ones better, just because they not as loud. So sometimes I do cut videos, or even during the pod, I want to use a clipper that's not just gonna just drown out the noise. So this definitely comes in handy. But I haven't used this clipper in a while. But like I said, I was just feeling adventurous, and I did a couple cuts with this. This weekend I did 2 fades. One fade on my guy Aaron, a mixed cat, who has like light. I can't even describe the texture of his hair. Like, it's light. It's not thick hair, but it's definitely not like straight hair like a white person. So it's a challenge cutting his hair, but I was able to pull these boys out and give one of the dopest fades ever. Like, I was surprised at myself. And I was able to cut my guy Tony this weekend, white cat, and I was able to use this on him. And then, like I said, gave another good fade. And it was just like, man, these feel good. They older, but they still got some power. The lever is worn in, because sometimes when you get these, the lever can be super tight, and it takes some finagling to like loosen up the lever. But I've had these probably for like 3 or 4 years, so the lever is like, you know what I'm saying, already adjusted how I like. And then they take the classic Andes double magnetic guards, and I'm gonna talk about these. But the point of this video is like, what's the best clipper between these two? Now, if you would have asked me, probably say 2 weeks ago, it would have been hands down these. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing about it, man. Like, these, hands down. Like, these are nostalgic classics, so I always keep a pair around. But these right here, man, powerful, can fade good. They cordless. You know what I'm saying? They last. I got 2, so I don't have to worry about one dying. But man, I don't know, bro. When I used these for my last 2 cuts and did those fades, especially not even on coarse hair, but on straight hair, and was able to give the cuts that I gave, man, I don't know. It's a battle, man. I'm gonna speak on some differences before I give my opinion on which one is better. Some differences. So the biggest difference to me is how much the Masters opens up. Like, it fully opens to a 1. You see the notches. So it goes from, I got mine pretty much zero gap. So from a zero gap all the way to a one. See how wide, you know what I'm saying, how much room you got to play with. Now, I will be honest. Because this clipper opened up that wide, I was just not a fan because I'm so used to like the wall system of fading. When it opens up this wide, it kind of like, I don't know, man. It kind of like threw off my guard system. And it just, it's just weird going from a zero to a one. Then normally when I have like when I say a wall system, Babyliss can fit in that mode just because the blades are the same size. So normally I do a bald line all the way open, no guard. Then I'll do like a 1.5 or one all the way open. Then I'll fade out the bald line on the bottom. Then I'll get the zero guard and fade out in between, and that just worked. For these, you can do that system, but it's you gotta kind of finesse it a little bit different. You can't treat this clipper like it's this clipper. The techniques in the system of fading for me is totally different. So normally when I have the Andis, and this is one thing that I like about Andis. So with Andis, because you got so much room, you got so much room between a zero and a one, it gives you room to play with and more room for error. But especially when cutting white people, normally what I do when I make the guideline after the bald line, I don't start all the way open. I don't do that. What I do is I'll normally go right here because this right here is basically the same as this all the way open. It's pretty much the same. So what I'll do is my first guideline into the fade after the ball line, I'll go here, and then what I'll do, I'll hit my clients with I'll hit my white clients who could take an electric razor. I'll do this, then I'll bring out my slim line and bump that line out. I'll go forward and I'll go underneath just to clear that line. And then that is the perfect transition. Like I said, I'm starting here with that first line. I'll go all the way closed. And I'll go here. Then I'll work my way back up to here. And when I tell you it clears that line, man. And then from there, after I've done the system from here, then I'll open it all the way up. But all the way up for this is basically the same as the one guard on this close. This is basically the equivalent to this. That's why I said, man, the systems are just so different. And in terms of guards, the guards are completely different too. Like this is totally different than this. I feel like this guard is going to take off more hair and get a closer cut than this will. So this is basically more equivalent to this, the zero guard. The zero and this guard in the one Babyliss guard or wall guard are pretty much the same thing. So that's when I said the systems of fading are different. But I figured, and I'm gonna just say I like these guards better. It was a battle for me to basically submit to these ones, but over time, when you get used to these and learn how to finesse these, it's just easier. And they magnetic, so they can stick. Look, it's so much easier. So when I'm going between guards, I don't got to worry about throwing them in the holder or I can just put them on it. I got a little steel plate on my station that I could just set them on and then cut and go, cut and go. So I will give the nod to these guards and just the nostalgia of these guards. Like as a kid growing up in the barbershop, I always remembered seeing these being used by barbers. So when I got older and got to cutting hair, man, I always wanted just a set of these. So that the fact that I'm able to use them now is just dope. But I'm going to take these guards over these. And I'm going to give these the slight edge over, hold on. I'm going to give these the slight edge over my wall guards. Now, if you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, which was my favorite guards out of all these three, I would have said this one. But I'm telling you, just after those 2 haircuts and just really getting comfortable with the Andes guards, I'm going to have to rock with this one, man. But like I said, each barber is different. You know, everybody has a system. And like I said, between these 2 clippers, I cut totally different. I'm not going to cut a haircut the same way I would use this one compared to this one. You have to, and I think that was my biggest struggle before, why I kind of just set these down for a while, because I would try to cut with these as if they're these, and I wouldn't get the same cut, or it would take me longer, you know what I'm saying, to get the same result as I would with this one. But when you learn how to finesse with these, man, and you can get over, you know what I'm saying, the cord, and I actually was able to buy this so the cord wouldn't be as tangled. Had this for a while, but this helps. But when you're able to figure out the system with these, man, I'm gonna just say it now, man. Out of these 2, the one that I would choose, I ain't gonna lie, man, I'm gonna have to go with these. I'm gonna have to go with the old schools. Don't get me wrong, I still love these. I would never sell these to nobody. I would never get rid of these with nobody. Get rid of these, period. And I would never just stop doing haircuts with these. Like, come on now. But right now, as in terms of my favorite clipper to use and what clipper I think once you grasp it is the better clipper, I'm gonna say these. I do have one con to these. When you use these for a while, this clipper can get hot. So you always got to keep some of this or some cool care, clipper cool care, just to like spray them, you know what I'm saying? Spray them down to keep them cool, or get another pair. Like I have the cordless ones, but I don't know, them just too loud for me. But I think I do have another pair of these somewhere, or I could just, you know, go buy another pair of these. But man, these are just, these A1. I follow this cat on Instagram named Miracle Wrist, and he does custom clippers for these. I think I might have to hop in his inbox, man, and try to finesse and get another pair of these, because these, man, they've been around for so long. But sometimes in life, man, you just got to take your time and give stuff, you know, second chances and give stuff fair chances. And when you able, and I'm telling you, as a new barber, if you always using the wall system and you pick these up, you're not going to like them. I'm just telling you now, you're not going to like them because it's a different style of cutting. But when you take your time and you learn these clippers, man, I'm telling you, the freedom you got with them, the detail you can put in them, and just the nostalgia of them. And there actually is one more con. So like I said, I told you I got these zero gap, super close. Now, one problem you will have if you got these clippers as close as I do is this. You hear that? And I have to remember to just put the lever down just enough. But that's something like I got used to over this weekend and was able to deal with. But yeah, man. And I've noticed with these guards, because if you compare them 1-to-1, 2-to-2 with the wall system, and these guards take off not as much hair, I feel like, I don't know, like they fade better. I feel like these guards fade better than these and these. And I love these guards. To be honest, the only reason I was using these guards is because they came with the clipper, and I like to strictly use these guards on my head. But these, for some reason, like for example, when I cut Tony this weekend, I did a 3 on top for Tony. And then from the 3, once I bumped out the ball line, or once I bumped out all the way open with these, I put on the 1.5. Oh no, this is the 2, my bad. I put on the 1.5 and I opened it up and I was just flicking out to see how much hair it would take off. And it wasn't taking off a lot of hair to where like, oh, okay, let me put on the 2. It took off enough hair to where I didn't even have to pull out the 2, which was so dope. And I was just able to work my way down from the 1.5 to the 1 and just touched it up with the 0. I didn't even really need the 0. I just touched it up, to detail it to get the blade as blurry as possible. I feel like with these, you kind of got to go in order with these. Like, you really can't do that. Like, if you're going to do a 3 on top, and I went against the grain with Tony's hair. If I was to cut Tony's hair with these, and I did a 3 on the top, I would need to work my way 3, 2, or that's 1.5, my bad. 2, 1.5, 1. I would have to work my way down. This would have to be the system with Tony. But when I cut Tony's hair with the Andis and I did a 3 on top, I went from 3 on top to 1.5 to 1. And I did the 0, but in all honesty, I really didn't even need this. This was all I needed to cut Tony's hair. And that fade came out super blurry. And I was just like shocked. Like, man, like I knew I used. And what's crazy is this was my first real clipper. When I first invested some money into like getting a nice clipper, I bought these. So, but once I started using these and I knew it was other clippers out there, I switched to the wall system. And I kind of liked that system better. So I stopped using these for the longest, but I picked them back up just because of the nostalgia. Man, bro, these Masters are basically equivalent to some Air Force Ones or some Dookies, how they say in Milwaukee, or some Ones, whatever. That's the nostalgia of these. You could walk into a white barbershop, a black barbershop, an Hispanic barbershop, and every OG barber is going to have a pair of these. Like, I bet money they will. But, yeah, man. So, I'm going to have to roll with these. I'm going to have to roll with the Andy system. I do love these. But just from the way I'm able to grasp the fading system with these, the nostalgia of these, and because these are quiet, well, these pretty quiet too, but I'm rolling with these. I don't have to charge these. I do have to keep some spray around to warm them down, to keep them cool. My bad, to keep them cool. But once you can get past the small cons of these, man, and like I said, I'm taking these over the cordless ones just because of the sound. But yeah, man, I'm rolling with these. I'm interested to see what barbers have to say about it. I know a lot of OGs in the game probably gonna roll with these, but a lot of younger cats probably will go with these. In my opinion, I like these a little more, but both of them are dope. And it's all about finding a system that's right for you. And I would tell each young barber to learn both. Learn the Andy system and learn the Babyliss / wall system, man. And then I think Gamma is part of this side too. So just learn all of them so you can be versatile, because maybe these could break on me one day and I don't have nothing left but these. So I got to use these now and got to get comfortable with these. These could break on me. For some odd reason, these could break on me too. So I got to pull out my Andys and I got to be right with this. But yeah, man, that's the video today. I'm going to actually put in a couple cuts I did with both at the end. And y'all just give me feedback, man. Let me know which one y'all like too. Like I said, you can't go wrong at the end of the day. But just know, cutting with these is totally different than these. And please understand that before you pick each one of these up. They're not the same. The guards are not the same. So if you're able to adjust and understand what each of these are and what they do, man, I feel like that's going to help you. That's all the time I got today, man. I love y'all. Peace, and check out these videos. OG, you know what? Right, right.
So she was just naturally gifted, and she worked hard too.
Yeah.
And so she made the state every year in track.
Yeah.
And like, what was I gonna say? But outside of her and just like everybody else, like no one was really truly focused, like and whatnot, to getting to that next level.
Right.
Or even to just like to stay
Here, I would have been to like Nashville or some place like that. Carolina, somewhere.
Not a bad game.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. I put some extras on this one, man. Yeah, we be free because we done with church at like 1. So I try to get like 1 haircut in after church, and I'll be done for the day.
Doesn't look like they're in much of a rush here.